The importance of footwork in boxing cannot be overstated. With it, you can get into range to deliver your offense while evading your opponent's offense. And that is what the sweet science is all about, the art of hitting and not being hit. Here we have Gervonta Tank Davis and Devin Haney sparring, and you can just see the footwork on display, whether it be in defensive posture or offensive posture. In this video, I'm sharing with you guys some footwork drills that I think will take your boxing to the next level. I've done a video like this before, and a lot of you guys watched it. I want to say I appreciate it, and hopefully we can double the views on this one in the comments. And I love teaching people my favorite sport in the world, and my first priority is my fighters that I teach at the gym and how to teach them to defend themselves in this sport, which is, so dangerous and consequential. But with good defense, you can swim without getting wet, and skills pay the bills in the sport of boxing. Let's get into it. Boxing footwork drills you need to try. Okay, first things first, we got to talk about shadow boxing, or footwork-oriented shadow boxing. Just work on getting into range and out of range, and actually practice chasing the guy down or cutting the guy off, pursuing your opponent. To follow footwork-focused shadow boxing, we're going to practice throwing individual punches while we're stepping in all four directions: forward, left, backward, and right. And we're going to use this agility ladder cross that I have in the middle of the gym to do it. There's a lot of benefit to using the agility ladder, but one of the reasons I like it is it gives you an actual visual for the center line, and you can see whether or not your head is on it. So I like that. And you would be surprised how many guys can't generate the same amount of force going backwards that they can forwards, but it really is just a matter of training it. So I like to have fighters or new beginner boxers learn how to punch going forward, backward, left, and right, and all their punches. Like, you should be able to fight going forward, backward, left, and right, or you can't really fight, or you're a one-dimensional boxer. So it's a great fundamental drill, and fundamentals is what make fighters great. There's a few different ways to step and punch at the same time, but what's important is that you're doing it, because when you get into range, punching range with an opponent, they're not going to just let you take steps. So you need to mask your steps with your punches. Your punches are going to hide your steps. So while you're getting into range and out of range, once you got your opponent's information down, meaning their ideal range for their offense, you can escape that range and get in further than that, so you're smothering your opponent's work. You need to be working your pivot at all times as a fighter, because that is your adjustment to a drastic move of your opponent. If your opponent makes a sudden move to take an angle against you, you need to be able to adjust quickly and put offense together right away, or take defensive measures. But either way, you need to be able to adjust to the opponent on the fly, or take an angle on the fly. You can do it with or without taking your head off the line, depending on the situation, but you better train both. Left hook's going right.
looks forward.
Okay, while being light on my feet for this next drill, I'm stepping into the agility ladder with a 1-2. When I retract the 2 back to my face, I'm stepping out of the ladder and then stepping my left foot over to the left and my right foot after, taking me off the center line and in theory dodging 2 of my opponent's strikes after landing 2 of my own. It's important you're maintaining weight on your back foot throughout the entire drill, or your movement won't be as fluid and you might run into punches. The twisting of the shoulder is what allows you to step off of the line comfortably. Here I'm explaining in my own way the difference between your toe and the ball of your foot and how keeping weight on the back foot allows you to generate more power and have more balance.
Y cuando tú mueves tu cadera, tu hombro, tu mano, tu pie al mismo tiempo y regresar al mismo tiempo. Cada uno, juntos, y cuando tú regresas, llevas tu hombro por frente de tu. Solo es así.
When you focus on the twisting of the shoulders, not only does it twist the hips so that the leg can easily move off the line, the shoulders protect the chin. Now we'll cover skipping rope, one of the top 3 boxing workouts you can do, or footwork specific exercises you can do. The benefits are innumerable. Cardiovascular health, weight loss, calf endurance, your ability to stay calm when your heart rate is up, your rhythm, your timing, linking your hands and feet together at the same time. It would be much easier to list fighters that don't jump rope than it would be to list all the fighters that do. Add it into your workout, whether you want to be a champion of the world or you just are practicing boxing because it's a fun thing to do. Either way, jump rope. Don't take my word for it, the proof is in the pudding. Next, we'll cover hitting the speed bag as a footwork drill. And that's just by staying on the balls of your feet and linking your hands and feet together while you attack the bag in a similar way to jumping rope. Just bouncing on the toes, up and down as you hit the heavy bag. It's a little harder than it looks, but this is the way that you're going to get the benefits of both jumping rope and hitting the speed bag together at once. You guys are going to love this drill. If you guys have a speed bag at your gym or whatever, staying on your toes and hitting it, you should be able to do this for, an entire round without stopping. You got to get to that point. Just time on the speed bag is going to make you a better fighter in lots of different ways. Trust me. Here's a great drill for you guys to practice the shift and the switch. You're shifting around an opponent, creating an angle, but also switching stances. The agility ladder cross I have here in the middle of the gym is great for a visual representation of what you're doing, which is shifting your weight to take a 90-degree angle around your opponent and throwing a lead hook, backhand straight lead hook. So a 3-2-3 each time you shift. A 3-2-3 in the southpaw stance and a 3-2-3 to the orthodox stance. That's the drill. You can do it on this wall mount bag. You can do it just on the floor, or you can do it on a heavy bag, whatever you choose. This is just a perfect way to use the wall mount bag, so I did there. And here is a fantastic drill you guys can try if you have someone who can hold the focus mitts for you and a treadmill, or you can just shadow box on a treadmill at a local gym. But being able to go up an incline backwards while having good punching form is essential to not being a one-dimensional boxer, but a boxer that can create space and take space away from the opponent. These guys are all relatively new to the sport of boxing, and they all definitely have never done a drill like this. But with my help, they will have proficient footwork, and they will be able to generate power going whatever way they need to go in a boxing ring because of footwork drills just like these. Maintaining weight on your back foot is key for this drill, otherwise your front foot is going to be overworking and you're not going to have snap on any of your rear hand punches. So this drill is great because it's going to force you to punch with your body while you're moving, or you're going to fall off the treadmill. So it's great to have somebody that's going to work on your defense by, throwing strikes at you that you have to evade and putting you in position to counterpunch. All those basic things while you're working uphill backwards. It's just a good drill, an experimental drill, but a good drill for your form and being able to keep cool. A lot of boxing, it could be overthinking. I mean, you could be thinking too much because you have to get some of this stuff with down to muscle memory, like the jump rope and the speed bag and certain combinations. And so these guys, they first get on the treadmill moving backwards and they're so whoa, and it's off-putting and they don't get it. And then I come up with the focus mitts and making them do all these combinations and swinging at their head, making them roll. Eventually, the treadmill is just just like an afterthought, because once the combinations start flying and punches start flying at your head, you can't be worried about your feet. But that kind of explains why you need to be doing drills like these, because you can't be thinking about your feet in that ring. That it needs to be natural. I mean, you got to just be able to flow and float around the ring and move and create traps and take angles and find exits and entries on somebody. You ain't got time to think about it. You got so much more that you need to be thinking about. So your feet need to be ready to go. Your feet need to be ready to turn on a dime, and stuff like this will help you achieve that. But you got to be patient. You got to put the work in, and you got to have a good team around you to help you achieve it. This goes for anybody, whether or not you want to fight or whether or not you want to lose a couple pounds learning how to box. If you're going to do it, learn to do it right, so that you're not just wasting your time. If you want to learn how to fight to defend yourself, once you learn, you'll be able to teach your children after you and the people around you. And boxing is just great for stuff like that. But it's a science, it's an art form. Don't underestimate it. There's guys that have trained longer than me that can't even throw a straight right hand moving backwards, and it baffles me. But I thank God that He allowed me to know some of the things I know, so I can share it with others, people like you guys that trust my videos to help them. So I'm happy to do it, and stay tuned, and you'll learn more stuff as it pertains to boxing, no doubt in my mind. As a coach, you're dealing with so many different people, different personality types, different experience levels, and you have to know how to pick your battles. And what I mean by that is, if this exercise is to help them or help a client or a student learn to punch and step at the same time moving backwards, I might not so stress keeping the hands up, because I want them to understand the exercise. But once, for example, this young man, once he starts to he's comfortable moving his feet and punching a little bit, then I'll start to talk about lift your hands up and stuff like that, because there's so many things that you have to know intrinsically about boxing that sometimes one principle will take precedent over the other, but like never undervaluing the principle in and of itself. So what I mean is, it's so important that your stance is right and that your hands are up. But if I'm like honing in on the stance, I'm not so focused about the hands being up. But eventually, once the principle is understood, the one that is being worked on, then you have to go back and make sure that the hands are up and that the head is off the line, chin is down, and stuff like that. So it's a balance between making sure everything's perfect and knowing how to teach and coach and be patient with people that are learning and trying to get better or learning something new about boxing, because there's so many different trains of thoughts. But there's some things that honestly just work, that I wasn't even taught, that you come to learn from teaching others.
He don't want to box. He wants to make it a brawl, bro. So you got to just move around.
In closing, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. There's a difference between running and boxing, and there's a difference between chasing someone and cutting the ring off. I hope this video was informative for you. If it was, please like and subscribe so we can produce more content like this. And I'll see you in the next one.